Hey YouTube, this is the Robinhood Investor. Hope you had a great week of trading. As always, I really appreciate your support. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn about investing, subscribe to this channel. Today I'm going to talk about Slack stock, which reported earnings this past week. Slack, ticker symbol WORK, currently priced at $32.30 per share. Past year, down 16.1%. Past 5 years, same thing. It hasn't been in the market for over a year. So it started IPOing around June of last year. So down 16.1% ever since IPO'd. Market cap is $18.3 billion. P/E ratio does not exist, which means they're not profitable at the moment. And dividend yield is 0, which means they're reinvesting all profits back into growth. Analyst ratings, 54.2% give it a buy, 33% give it a hold, and 12.5% give it a sell. For earnings, you can see that actual EPS was slightly better than expected. So negative 2 cents was the actual versus expected 6 cents, negative 6 cents. Now, what does Slack do? So they develop a real-time collab application and platform. For those who use Slack, it's kind of like a chat platform that integrates with a lot of other applications, and you can communicate through text or video and emojis and GIFs, and it's a pretty fun tool to use to communicate and collaborate with other teammates. Taking a look at the investor relations reports, you can see that their revenue, so purple is actual versus green is previous guidance. So you can see it's slightly better by $15 million. So up 12% year over year growth. And then FY21 revenue up 2% year over year. That's $11 million. So good to see this kind of growth. Taking a look at the guidance for operating income loss and free cash flow. You can see that their operating loss was slightly better by $23 million. So previous guidance was negative 40 million versus this past quarter was down negative 17 million. Operating loss, the delta of $20 million, so slightly better, and free cash flow was about the same. Now, year over year trends for GAAP revenue, you can see that, so purple is actual versus yellow is prior year, and green is previous guidance. So we want to look at the purple versus yellow, and you can see quarter over quarter, the revenue is decreasing, which is not good to see. We want the revenue to increase so that they can sustain their business, but this does not look good. Taking a look at the calculated billings, same thing. Purple bar is lower than the yellow bar, and we're seeing a trend downwards. Same goes for trailing 12 months calculated billings. That's not good to see. Now taking a look at their usage, so shift to work from home has driven increased adoption and engagement. So more users on their platform, more organizations using. So last quarter, 2020 versus this past quarter, increase from 660,000 versus 750,000. So good to see that kind of growth. Average minutes of active usage on Slack per day. You can see that more time has been spent on this platform. Average hours connected to Slack per day, also more time. Net added paid customers, more paying customers relative to the previous quarter. And then Slack users are consistently highly engaged. So you can see that the hours on Slack, connected to Slack per day, you can see that it's trending upwards. And then average minutes, you could also see this past quarter, it's increased. And I think all this is due to the work from home trend. People are working remotely, more time on Slack. And I think this is, in the short term, this will happen. But yeah, it's good to see that kind of engagement, more users, more engagement. The platform, as I mentioned, they have a growing ecosystem. So more apps in the directory, so more integrations with Slack, so that makes it more sticky. 650,000 custom apps and integration used weekly, and 790,000 active developers, so adding more apps to their platform. So shared channels create an emerging network of work across organization boundaries. You can see that customers using shared channels, it's been increasing steadily quarter after quarter. And also a large and rapidly growing customer base. So you can see quarter after quarter, more and more users using it. And you can see that year over year growth is also pretty solid in the 30s to 20% range. Strong retention and expansion within existing customers. So they're retaining more and more customers. So not only is it growing, but also they're retaining their customers, which is good to see that they're highly engaged and they want to continue using their product and platform. And there's also a large number of customer traction. You can see steadily growing quarter after quarter, and a growing percentage of revenue from large customers. So we want to see that enterprise customers are using it because those are the higher paying customers. So that includes a greater than $100,000 for revenue per customer. You can see that steadily growing quarter after quarter from 43% to 49%. So almost half of their organization user base is a high paying customer. Steady growth in remaining performance obligations. You can see that steadily growing quarter after quarter. And their international revenue footprint in 152 countries is also growing slightly, but not too much. But it's good to see that international presence, not just in the US, but internationally. Cash flow is, let's see, also improving relative to Q1 of last year. You can see that operating cash flow margin and free cash flow margin is getting better. CapEx is negative, but overall getting better quarter after quarter. Operating margins, you can see that it's in the 89% range. And typically this is what you see for a lot of software as a service companies, cloud-based software companies, because once they deploy the software, it becomes profitable as they get more and more users on their platform. Net income is negative, but it's slightly getting better quarter to quarter. Now, if we look at the key stats, you can see that year over year, the revenue is not looking good. So you can see 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. So you can see the revenue is getting better, but the earnings is not. So they're definitely not profitable, and it doesn't seem like they're getting profitable anytime soon. Taking a look at the key stats. Trailing PE doesn't exist. Forward PE is negative 271, which is not good to see. In the 52-week change, you can see it's down 15%. Relative to S&P 500, the market, it's up. So this is underperforming stock. You can see that held by institution is 65%. So a lot of institutions hold this. Insiders, 0.39%. Not many insiders hold this company. Dividend yield, as I mentioned, does not exist. So they're reinvesting all profits back into growth. Profit margin is terrible, negative 87%. Operating margin, negative 84%. In terms of management effectiveness, return on assets is negative 22. Return on equity, negative 73. And also their income statement, you can see revenue 697 million. Their quarterly revenue growth year over year is pretty big, 49%. EBITDA negative, net income negative. Their total cash on their balance sheet, 1.52 billion, which is good to see. We want to see a solid cash in the reserve because that will sustain them in the long run or in the short term when times are hard. So total debt, 840 million. Debt to equity is 99. So for every dollar equity they have $99 in debt. And operating cash flow, 10 million. Lever free cash flow, 231 million. So overall, you can see Slack is a growth story. More customers are using it. More organizations are using it. They're more engaged. They're spending more time on the platform, but it's not profitable. and it doesn't seem like it's profitable anytime soon, and the financials are not looking good. So even though the product is great to use, the company, the business, the financials are not looking good. So I don't plan on buying the stock anytime soon. That's all for this video. What are your thoughts on Slack? Comment down below. Remember to use my referral links below, and both of us get $20 for using personal capital or free stock for using Robinhood. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn about investing, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.